Hey guys, we're still around
We're here.
at TheBrewPill. Apologies for not having stuff up recently. It's a work in progress, as always. My time schedule is going to be changed, so it's going to be a little weird. But life happens.
Yeah.
But we're here tonight. We're going to drink a couple. We've been at Fort Walton Beach Brewery all night, and we might. He invited us over if we want to come on a Tuesday. They actually, that's when their brewing day is.
Okay.
You know, if we want to do that. But right now, we are trying a lemon peel, which is a malt beverage with lemon juice. 5.7%. I don't even see the maker of it. Campanology Brewing Company from Wisconsin. We're going to try this first. Already poured it out. It's pretty clear.
Yeah, it looks like a wine or a champagne. Ooh.
Like very lemon peel. It's definitely lemon peel.
It is the Sprite of beer.
But so if you find that lemon peel, like I said, right there, got it. I don't even remember where I got it. I got it. We haven't got to talk. There's so much going on. You know, the Batman is filming now.
Yeah.
Have you seen the pictures of Pattinson?
The suit.
And they're questioning the bat thing, and some people saying it's the gun that killed his parents.
Yeah. Joe Chill or whatever.
But some people are like, no, that's not what it is because it wouldn't be that complete. Did you see they released the picture of the first Batmobile yesterday?
Yeah.
What'd you think of that?
I described it to the people I work with because I saw it and I was showing some of them that it looks almost like Bruce Wayne bought a Dodge Challenger and gave it to Mad Max.
Yeah. I'll have to see it in the completed form. I'm trying not to pass judgment from just pictures.
And then there's the Bat Cycle. Did you see those pictures?
I saw the video. Have you seen the video?
No.
There's a video. Well, because it's filming somewhere in Britain. And he's coming down there, and I don't know if it was actual Pattinson on the bike or his stunt double, but he loses control, and it's a tough looking bike. I like the look of the bike.
Yeah.
You know, so we'll see how the car is. We'll have to,
And the way what I also followed, showing them the pictures that the bike, the suit, and the car. This is supposed to be a year or two of him being Batman.
So it'll be
very early.
Yeah.
So
the suit looks interesting without a cape. Mm-hmm. Or are they going to CGI the cape
in the pictures of the car where he's standing next to it, he does have a cape.
Okay, so we'll see the whole process maybe.
Yeah.
You know, and they have on the one picture of the three, it almost look like his bug eyes in the suit.
Yeah.
With the shorter bat ears. So I'll try not to pass judgment. It'll be interesting, you know, to see a different look on.
Did you see they were in talks with Johnny Depp to be Joker?
Please no.
That's they're also supposedly in talks with Henry Cavill to be Wolverine in the MCU.
He's too tall.
I know.
I love Henry Cavill.
Yeah.
And I dealt with Hugh Jackman being a little tall. But you owned it. He really did.
Yeah.
And it's going to be hard to replace that.
Yeah.
But Henry Cavill, he's Superman. I'm sorry.
He's 9'15".
He's
huge.
Built like a freaking brick house.
Yeah.
Because he keeps wanting... No, leave him as Superman. And Warner Brothers, don't be idiots. Keep him.
Trying to think of what other movie news I've been seeing.
Obviously, Red Sun came out. And
yes.
People are raving about the Superman Red Sun.
I need to get that. I read the comic.
Yes, I love the comic.
It was amazing. Trying to think of what else.
There's a lot else.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
Obviously,
Invisible Man came out and to rave reviews, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
We've been a little short here at the TheBrewPill, so we apologize.
Yeah.
It's life. It happens. We'll try to get into a regular scheduled program.
We'll get this all figured out, folks.
Yeah.
We're here for you.
Do it. Yes, we're here for you, so feedback is always welcome.
Yes. There was... I this is kind of an older little bit of news, but have you seen the preview with Daniel Radcliffe's movie, Guns Akimbo?
Yes.
That looked amazing. I want to see that.
I want to see that. We did Pensacon, me and my wife did Pensacon last weekend, and we tried to go to the Terminator. There was a Terminator 2 panel. Edward Furlong no-showed.
Oh.
But then he was up in the autograph room, and I'm like, no, I kind of waited an hour to watch you for you to no-show. But we got to see the Legends of Tomorrow, where Nick Zano and Matt Ryan were there. Constantine and Steele, I don't know if that's the character's name, but they were freaking awesome. You can tell how they've become friends doing Legends of Tomorrow. They were sitting there, kind of a few spoilers. They were talking about, the Brandon Routh is going to be exiting. They had just filmed that. And then I just read that Brandon Routh, the way they treated him wasn't really a great...
Yeah, I saw that. That it was kind of a... Bye.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming.
But there was more off the screen, like the people were really sad to see him go, but in the show they kind of like made it seem like bye. Which is sad because Brandon's such a good asset to have.
And he's been around in that the Arrowverse forever.
Mm-hmm. As the Atom.
Yeah.
And Kingdom Come Superman.
Yeah.
I thought that was awesome in Crisis. Did you?
I haven't got to see it yet.
You got to watch Crisis. It's really good. I think it was, especially for being a TV. Everyone was complaining about the budget, and I'm like, it's TV.
Yeah.
Get over it. But
there was some other Daniel Radcliffe news that I was going to bring up.
Is he going to be Harry Potter yet again?
No.
You have to look it up.
I will.
We have another beer we're going to do.
Yeah.
But
I'll get out my handy dandy. Awesome phone. We'll be back while I look this up.
Okay. Well, we're still here. Now, if Spencer actually watched some things that I recorded by myself, he'd know what this is coming up. Because I featured this in the last video. There's a shot for you. And I said, Spencer's got to try this. Can you guess by the smell? Smell kind of familiar?
It smells Jaegerish.
Yeah, you're on it. It's by a Jaeger manufacturer. It is a Jaeger. But they have an offshoot.
It's Jaeger, but it's not as like...
It's called Hot Ginger by Jaeger. I've got the bottle out to show you. But if I tried it the last... I made a little interlude to apologize to people who haven't done anything. But, yeah. I was looking because Jonathan Bell had found a Jameson, and it was a coffee Jameson.
Ooh.
They don't carry it around here.
Of course they don't.
So I found that. It was a different Jaeger. Now you want to show the people what we're driving? Driving. Because it says driver.
This is brewing craft beer at the world's most famous beach. We've got Daytona Beach Brewing Company, Driver 8.
So obviously a tribute to Junior, I think.
Blood Orange.
Or it could be Senior.
Crystal Weiser Ale.
Blood Orange. So let's see how this goes.
5.2% by volume.
We already got our glasses stacked and ready. So if you're watching this on Monday, when I'm going to try to put this out. Blood Orange is always an interesting taste. They either get it right or they don't.
You get that orange flavor, but you also get like the
Crystal Weizen. I've never heard of a Crystal Weizen, so if you know what it is.
I want to say like that kind of like stereotypical beer flavor, but on the same side you also get like that orange that comes in with it.
Yeah. Take a break and try our Driver 8. Our Crystal Weizen ale is refreshingly delicious and infused with blood orange juice to give it extra fruity kick. Cool.
we were just talking before we started recording. Excuse me. About things that shouldn't, movies that shouldn't be touched. And I was telling him about, I just was flipping through articles. They're making a Hocus Pocus 2. And just...
Some things shouldn't have sequels. I'm not a big fan of Hocus Pocus, but it was an original.
Yeah.
Keep it as original.
Yeah. And then they're making a Turner and Hooch series on Disney Plus, and I'm just...
Don't continue Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks he's America's sweetheart. I'm sorry.
Speaking of, have you seen the trailer for Greyhound?
I have not, but I read it.
Yeah.
I have not gotten to watch it yet. That's with Tom Hanks, the World War II movie?
Yeah. It looks pretty epic. They're transporting troops from the United States to England, get them in a fight in World War II. And
why is it called a Greyhound?
The ship's called Greyhound.
Okay, so it's not the buses.
That's what I thought at first, because the picture was him with the cap, and it said Greyhound, and I was like...
He's a bus driver?
Yeah, I was like, what is,
We're going to get there in 9.2 days!
I can't stop the bus!
Yeah, we got Speed with Tom Hanks. Yeah. World War II, very slow.
But it's like, he's taking on German U-boats. They're trying to sink the ships, and he's...
Okay.
He's like, we're going to make it no matter what, and it looks pretty epic, so...
Well, Tom Hanks, I'm sorry, he's like Julia Roberts was in the 80s, 90s. Tom Hanks is forever America's sweetheart. There's certain actors, actresses that are timeless.
Yeah.
Until you see him, I think I saw him, what was it, the Oscars? And they were doing the montage at the beginning, and Chanel Monáe came down singing in the audience, and he was in the front row. And he just suddenly looked old, and I'm like, Tom Hanks is timeless, and he should not look that old.
I remember seeing the picture of, they were talking about, it wasn't the Oscars.
Yeah.
But it was Ricky Gervais, and he was talking about whichever one he hosted recently.
And he was the Emmys?
Yeah, he was talking about how, he
just smashed people.
He did, and there was, a picture of Tom Hanks, and he was like, he was like, oh my god, he's really saying this?
Yeah.
But, trying to think of any other movies or any other stuff that we could...
Well, of course, they have the new Fast and the Furious Part 9. Anyway, that's about as much time as that. You've obviously... have you been watching more on Disney Plus?
No, I've actually, in some spare time, I've been watching Star Trek Picard on CBS.
How is it? I've heard it's great.
It's really, really good.
Yeah.
You get to see Patrick Stewart. He's getting up there in age, and they bring back.
I heard they brought back Troy finally in the last episode.
Deanna Troy? Yeah, she's married to Commander Riker. I haven't watched the latest one yet, so I can't give any details on that. But they're married, and I guess they've got their own little place or whatever. And he goes to see them. They brought 7 of 9 from Voyager into it.
Which is kind of weird because he wasn't part of...
Yeah, but she fits into the story.
Yeah.
Because there is an aspect on the Borg of because they delve into his past and all that.
Because he was...
And I like what they did with her.
Yeah.
Because in Voyager, they just gotten her back from the Borg, and she was very emotionless and all this, and they were trying to make her up into this, she was in a cat suit and...
You're trying to make her look sexier instead of just what her character was supposed to be.
And in this, she's the character. Yes. And it's not so I really liked that. And, they're delving into some other aspects of Star Trek. And in this, in previous Star Trek shows, the future is this great and wonderful place you want to live in. Because, nothing goes wrong. There's wars here and there, But in this one, it's everything is going wrong, so that you get to see, how they're dealing with that, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't like it, but it's time to grow up, guys. They had their second F-bomb in a Star Trek series. Yes. Yes.
For shame!
Yes. And it was great.
It was great.
It was wonderful. He goes in to see this, he's retired, he goes in to see this admiral, he's like, I just need a ship. because I got this thing I need to do.
Oh, I thought you were going to say, I need this shit.
No, he was like, I need this shit. Got this thing I need to do. We'll do it off the books. You don't have to, And she was like, the gall of you. And it's like, oh,
Cool.
she's telling off Picard,
Yeah, who tells off Picard?
Yeah,
Come on.
But yeah,
That's Professor X.
Yeah. But it's pretty good. I like it.
I finally saw about 20 minutes of Logan. I really need to sit down and see Logan. Yeah.
I loved that movie. I put it off for a while, too.
On my new job, we have lunch at whenever we can. And so they have a TV in the break room, and I just flipped it and Logan was on. And they're like, it's funny, like nobody watches it when anybody else, but I pick a channel, and all of a sudden, like the managers and everybody like, I'm like, damn, I picked the wrong channels.
Trying to anymore. I saw they're looking at making a Drax and Mantis movie.
Mantis.
And it sounds great. It sounds like it's gonna be funny, but there's only so far with those characters I think you could do on screen.
They're extra characters.
Yeah. They have their moments, and it's like, but they play off of other people. So.
Yes, you have to sometimes.
Yeah.
James Gunn just said on Twitter that he had finished Suicide Squad is now finished, and he said there's a lot more practical effects than CGI.
That's cool.
So be prepared for it. I like practical effects myself because it shows off the talent of like Stan Winston's workshop and all the other different ones that are. And it shows the amount of love that can go into... I mean, I'm not saying there's not love in CGI, but practical effects, I love practical effects.
You watched The Mandalorian?
I have not seen any more than 20 minutes in the first one.
I can't think of the guy's like real life name, but he's actually he's basically the guy he's the first contract for not the first contract, but he's the guy that basically he sets up the contract for the Mandalorian to go find Baby Yoda.
Yes.
And I can't think, he's a famous director.
Okay.
And he did this just to make money so he can make something else.
John Favreau was something to do with the Mandalorian.
He wrote and directed, but this is, I can't think of the guy's name, but
does it start with a G? Giancarlo?
No.
Okay.
That's another good character that's in there. But basically they were toying with making Baby Yoda CGI because they started off with the puppet.
Yeah.
And basically, they were like, "Oh, we'll change it to CGI because nobody wants to see a puppet anymore." And he called the whole crew cowards because they wouldn't do the puppet.
Really?
So now it's a puppet throughout the whole series.
It should be.
Yes.
Have you seen... Hold on. I don't know if you can see the shirt. It's Groot Beer. It is done by Geek Orthodox. He was at Pensacon. He does his own shirts. Every year I try to buy one. If it's like last year I got a Venture Brothers, and it's Brocktoberfest. If you know Brock from Venture Brothers. So every year I try to buy one. He has different ones he does every year. Little shout out to Ian, I think his name is. I have the card, but if look up Geek Orthodox. But back to practical effects and Jim Henson, because it's always Muppets. Is Yoda, Jim Henson.
Yeah.
Have you seen the Happy Time Murders with Melissa McCarthy?
No, I wanted to.
You need to.
Okay.
It's freaking fantastic. It's actually done by Henson's son, and it's under Henson Alternative. It's freaking fantastic. I had to sit there and I had to keep picking my jaw up because it's so raw.
Well, I know I saw like a preview of it, and it was like she goes to see. He's like a private detective, one of the puppets.
Yeah, she's a cop, and she had been shot in the line of duty. And it's in a world where Muppets are equal to people. It's dealing with almost like the racism nowadays,
yeah.
But it's Muppetism, where people are prejudiced against Muppets, which takes it to a whole different level of thinking.
Yeah.
And she had been shot in a previous, and they had to put, the doctor was a Muppet, and he had to save her life, he had to put part of a Muppet inside of her. So she is now got issues with the same things Muppets do, like sugar. Like, she gets drunk off of sugar. And so it's freaking hilarious, and they have porn for Muppets.
Well, I saw when she went to go to his office and she walked in. She's like, "I need to see so and so."
Yeah.
And then you see like the female Muppet. His door has like the like shaved glass.
Yes, like the
and she's
old
like,
private.
and he's going to town.
Yes.
And it was ridiculous. And the secretary, she's like, "Well, I guess I'll have to go clean that up," you know.
Yes. She walks into a porn shop of Muppets, and it's like somebody milking a cow. He's like, "Oh," and he's milking the cow, and they make it so autoerotic, and you're like, "Are they really doing this?" And they were really doing it. So if you haven't seen the Happy Time Murders, it's freaking hilarious as heck. I love Melissa McCarthy ever since she was on Mike and Molly. You know, I think she's a fantastic actress.
We were talking to coworker and I were talking the other day about he's seen all of her movies, and I mentioned Tammy.
Yes.
And he was like, "Oh, I haven't seen that."
Tammy's hilarious.
What brought it up was he was talking about a situation he was in where basically one of his friends had accidentally killed his cat. Not my coworker, but this other guy that he knew. He had killed his own cat or whatever. And so he called up my coworker and was like, "Hey, I want to do a Viking funeral for the cat." So they went out and they did this whole thing, whatever. And I was like, there's a Melissa McCarthy movie where they do that, you know, and it's her mom.
Yeah.
She ends up dying, and and I was telling him, we got on with that with, what's her name? Kathy Bates. I couldn't stand Kathy Bates for the longest time because
She's awesome, though.
when I was younger, my first introduction to her was watching her cobble the dude
Misery,
and I was like, I will never like this
James
woman.
Caan.
Yeah, I will never like this one. But I ended up
She's
watching.
perfect. She's freaking.
I watched Tammy, and she's this older like lesbian or whatever,
Yeah.
and she's got all this money, and they put her Melissa McCarthy's mother on the boat or whatever, and they do this whole Viking funeral. She shoots an arrow out there, and I was like, that's pretty cool. And so I started to like her, Kathy Bates, and I was like, I'll check some more stuff for her.
Everything Kathy does is gold. I mean, Kathy is freaking awesome. That's what I like to love her is Misery. I'm like, because Misery was such a freaking in-detailed book of Stephen King's. When they did that, I was like, you're doing this awesome. You know what I'm saying? So, we're drinking beers here at the Brew Pill. Obviously, Spencer finished first, so we will hopefully see you in the next week or two. Drink beer.
We'll work this out.
Later.